Hi, my name is Liza Odom. I'm a student at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, and this is my presentation on ethics in special education. So just start us off, we need to know what ethics are. They are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or how they conduct an activity. So an example is that social workers' ethical behavior should result from their personal commitment to engage in ethical practice. So it's principles and standards which you aspire to. It's the standard of right and wrong for each field. For the Center of Exceptional Children, they've outlined 12, and here is a direct language, maintaining challenging expectations, maintaining high level of professional competence and integrity, professional judgment, promoting meaningful and inclusive participation of individuals with exceptionalities in their schools and community, practicing with others who are providing services to individuals with exceptionalities, and so you can read them. I'm not going to read all of them. But I think for me, uh, the most important ones, I mean, they're all important, but obviously no harm, number 8, and challenging expectations. That's what I really try to have, draw when I am working with kids. So here is the condensed version: high expectations, professional competency and integrity, encourage an inclusive participation, professional collaboration, family engagement and participation, using evidence-based practices, ensuring safety, a pledge to do no harm, obviously follow the law, advocating for student success, strive to improve personally and professionally with professional development. Ethics starts with me. And so I developed some questions that I can ask myself, so I know that I'm actually applying ethical, if I'm being ethical in the classroom. So ensuring that did they learn something new? Am I teaching them where they learn something new? Are they progressing? Am I proud of my work? Is that something that I can go and tell others that I'm doing and be proud of it? Was I inclusive? Always try to have an inclusive environment. For my proposal, I'll be doing least restrictive environment, and the whole concept is to mainstream students and allow them to learn and participate with their non-disabled peers. And did I make a decision? Did I make decisions as a team? Did I collaborate? Did I make sure to include others in the process, including parents and other related service providers? And how does the family feel? I think a really big, being mild mod, and working so closely with my families, and making sure that it moves from not just the classroom but also home, is knowing how the sentiment of the families, and making sure that they feel comfortable, and they feel supported. What does the research say? So that has to do with the evidence-based, and that's what I'm in school for, so that I know that this is not just off the top of my head. And when I go into somebody else's classroom, I know that they're using evidence-based, research-based practices that we know work. Are my students safe? This applies, I think, a lot to the behaviors of students. That is where this becomes, I think, really specific to those types of classrooms. But for in general, are my students safe? Am I maintaining a safe environment? And that's not just physically, but also emotionally. A big role of me as a teacher is to make sure that my students feel safe, not just that they are safe, but do they feel safe? Causing harm, did I harm? And sometimes we have to really think deeply about the kinds of harm that we can do. To me, that's a pretty easy one, but you have to think a little deeply. Did I say this in the best way to make them feel safe, and did I cause any harm? Have I followed the law? By maintaining an IEP, making the parent phone calls, and making sure that everybody is participating and that it is a free and appropriate public education. I think the only way that you know if you followed the law is to know the law in the first place. And so I think that this class has been really helpful in really knowing what the legal aspects of special education are. And then did I stand up for what is right? And for me, my personality, that's, something I'm passionate about, is making sure I stand up for what is right for my students, and in my classroom. And am I getting better? So am I progressing? Each day, am I making sure that I'm trying to be a better teacher? And then what else can I do? Really trying to think outside of the box and think about what I can do as a professional, whether it be, improving my skills as a collaborator, or improving my skills as, providing resources, and all these other questions too, making sure that I am trauma informed, and culturally responsive, those kinds of things. So the main role of a special education teacher is to provide instruction and support, which facilitates participation. To me, my favorite way of looking at my role in the classroom is as a facilitator, and it really encompasses, participation of students with disabilities in the regular classroom, and really putting them in the driver's seat, and giving them the tools so that they can create their own success. And so this is directly from the Center of Exceptional Children. Um, it's the job responsibilities, and I'll tell you that it made a difference, in reading this, because when I first started, I didn't really know exactly what was expected of me. I knew I had theories and ideas, but it wasn't evidence-based. And so looking at this, developing schedule and supervised plans for paraeducators, I didn't really think that that was a part of the job description, but it is. Um, you know, um, Team teaching, I didn't know that that was a part of the actual job description. And serving as a case manager, I I focused so much being a new teacher on, being in the classroom and getting in front of kids, that I didn't really realize that what it means to be a case manager. And I've learned, and I'm really happy to do it. It's actually something I enjoy at this point. But it was little, a little bit of a learning curve. Um, And so that is my presentation on ethics in special education. Um, I think it's really important that we do have a lot of information provided, and really read about it, and kind of try to internalize a lot of the things, because it's so much more than just a job. You have to go in with these principles. You have to be a certain kind of person, to be a teacher and to work with kids, and specifically with kids with special needs. Um, I've heard that from my friends and family, that, it takes a special person. And the more and more I do the job, the more and more I believe that, and I try to rise to the occasion. And it's not easy, but I love it, and I think I can get better. And I like asking myself those questions, because it really allows me to be a better educator, and feel purpose in life. And so thank you for listening, and have a great evening.